Hi, this is Debbie with another video tutorial. The reason why I'm making these today is I've received a couple of emails from some really nice ladies asking me if I can make some videos on two different things. One is the text to path again, and this is to help show those that are new to the software especially how they can take any path and wrap text around it. And the email I received, this lady is having problems because it seems to keep on going on the inside of her shape instead of the outside. So, and she's working on a heart, so I chose a heart to do this video tutorial with. And I'll show you a little bit more after we get going. Okay, so this is a path. This is a shape of a heart. And we want to go over here to our type tool. And I already have Cooper Black selected, and it's the text size is set to 72 points, the character spacing's at 100%, and the line spacing's at 100%. So this is how it's all set up, and you can use any font you want. Okay, I'm using a large font because obviously I have a large heart here, and that's so you can see things better. Okay, she wanted love typed around, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to type my first one, love, and as you can see, in this little green area, this box, you'll see the circle here with a cursor, crosshairs right here in it. And this later on is what we're going to drag down to our shape so it'll start wrapping around this path. The heart is a shape, but it's a path as well. That explains it better. Okay, so if I click off of this and I go, oh no, where did my little crosshair thing go? All I have to do is double click on it again and it's back. So I'm just going to take this and drag it down here, and I'm going to start. Oh, before I do that, I always duplicate the shape that I'm working with in case I do make a big mistake. So there we go. That's duplicated, and I just control click to duplicate that. Now I double click on the word love again, and I'm just going to drag this right down here, and there it starts. Right as I move it up or down is where it starts on my path. See? And let me undo that again because I want to show something else. You can go inside a path, and I actually have a hard time getting it inside a path, but it's because there I moved it downward so that started it on the inside of this path. And she wants hers, and if I kept on typing, it would keep on typing on the inside of this path, but she wants hers on the outside of the path. So I'm going to undo all this. Again, I love that undo button. Okay, now we're back to the word love. Double click on it. This green box is here again. There's that crosshair. And drag it down here. I'm going to click right here in front of the E. And I'm going to leave a space, and I'm going to type the word love again. Space, love, and see how it's going around this path? Space, love, space, love. And if you didn't want the space, we'll just back this up. And I'll just start typing love, 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 all the way around. And then it comes to that point right there. Now there's a couple of things you can do to change this as well. Because see where that E and that L overlap? Okay, I can highlight all of this. Well, usually I can. Of course, when I'm making a video, that's when things want to go awry. That's okay. I just want to show you the character spacing. If I move this character spacing up and it spreads these out more, you can see where it's starting to look. I can just move it around to get different looks. I can go down in my character spacing, and then since they're so tightly together, I don't like that. So I'm just going to go back up. If I wanted to weld them, that would be great. If I wanted to weld all these letters together, I would go down on it. So I'm going to move it back up, and I'm going to click off this. As you can see, it's not perfect, and it's kind of hard to get it absolutely perfect when you do this, but there is a way to change things up. So I'm going to right click here. I'm going to choose Convert to Path. And then now I'm going to take that path, the heart shape, and we can just delete that. We don't need it any longer. And besides that, I have my handy dandy one right over here that I duplicated. Okay, now I'm going to click on this again and go down here and select Ungroup. Here's where you can make some other adjustments. I'm going to click on this L because I don't like it leaning into the E, and I'm just going to turn it upward a little bit, and then I'm just going to drag it a little closer to that L, and I want to keep it kind of pointed inward so it still looks like a heart, but now I need to move my O a little bit, and I'm going to do the same thing with this L. I'm going to move it downward and over to the right just a tad bit right there, and curve this L up here again because I must have let go of it. And now that I have all this done, I'm just going to select it all and group it back together again. Or you can always select it all and just select Make Compound Path. There you go. Because if you would want to weld any of these letters, it would have to be a compound path. So we may as well just go ahead and make it a compound path. Who knows what you'll want to do with it later. And if I move this heart back in here, you see it fits really nice. And of course, if I want it to resize this heart a little bit, whoops, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to drag our letters up. And we fill this with a red. And we fill this with, let's just say this color. And we'll do the same way with the line color. And there you go. That is text to path. And you can do it with any shape. As a matter of fact, I recently had a lady email me and ask me if I could make her something that curved to the shape of a cupcake, because she wanted something done said Cupcakes by. So I had the image of the cupcake that she wanted, and all I did to do this is I auto traced her cupcake. I'm going to turn off that high pass filter and increase the threshold. That gives me the shape of the cupcake, and I'm just going to select Trace Outer Edge for this one. So now I have the shape of her cupcake, and again I'm going to duplicate this. So move that over there. I'm going to go back to my type tool. Arial is selected this time, and I'm going to start right here. Well, we'll just type Cupcakes by Debbie. I do like to bake. And of course that's pretty huge. So I'm going to go down in the point size, selecting all that. I'm going to go down to about a 48. Take this over here to the shape of the cupcake, and I want it to start right about there. And see how all of this is, the letters are getting awfully crooked. So once again, I can go to character spacing, go down, and you see it pushes them all together again. I don't like that. And if we spread them out, we get a little bit better look. And I can even go down further in my point size. So we'll try a 36 and see how that looks. Sometimes it's a little bit of messing around with it, but if you keep on working on it, you'll get it exactly the way you want it. So say I just go about right there. Again, I want to click on this and say Convert to Path. And we can get rid of that path. I can bring my cupcake shape over here again. My cupcake. Now I'm going to zoom in here so I can show you what I do. Okay, there. I'm going to click on the cupcake word. Well, I better zoom out. Let's go fit to window because I keep on selecting the cupcake. Okay, now I have the word selected. I'm going to ungroup. And I'm just going to start moving these words, these letters that are kind of out of place and I can't quite get everything the way I want by doing the spacing, the character spacing. So if I move that and I turn this K this way, move it inward, maybe do the same thing with the C here, move it down a little bit. I'm still keeping a nice pretty shape of the cupcake on the side that I want it on. And that looks pretty good to me. So now I'm going to move my cupcake over here. And I'm going to group those together again. And again, I'm just going to make it a compound path. Okay, now I have my cupcake. And remember, we did an auto trace on this already. But I want to show you something else. If I move this over here to the darker area, you'll see that it has a white background because it's a JPEG. Now, if I go back in here to my auto trace and I select auto trace, and once again, we turn off the high pass filter, we increase the threshold for this particular image. There we go. Oh, I moved it down too much. There we go. And you can always put the low pass filter on to kind of smooth out those edges. But they look pretty smooth. Okay, so then this time, to get rid of that white background, I'm going to select Trace and Detach. Now, I'm going to show you something. I move this cupcake out of the way. And you see when I drag my cursor over here, this little square look. See if I can grab that again. And you can see where I got rid of that white background. And I just have the cupcake. And if you go in here in your cut style window and you click on that cupcake and you select cut edge, there you go. No more white background and your cupcake is traced nicely and ready to do a print and cut. So move this back over here and we'll go to our little fill color. I'm going to grab this little selector here and just pick any of the colors here. Oh, I have to make sure I click on that. Let's make it this color. And there you go. That's another example of text to path and doing a little bit of a cleanup and moving letters around to get a pretty little look like that. Okay, now I'm going to do one more other thing that I was asked by another person is she wanted to make a curved door and she didn't know how to go about doing it. And there's several ways you can, there's always more than one way you can do something, but this is a pretty quick way. So I'm going to draw a great big oval. There we go. And then I'm going to draw a rectangle. And just to make sure that I keep these kind of even, hold on, I gotta click this rectangle and I'm going to just push it in about right there to the end. I'm going to control click and duplicate this and make sure it goes in just about to the end. And then I'm going to go control A to select everything. I'm going to go to my modify tool and hit subtract. And delete that little place out. So there is gave me the curve shape of the door. And I can do the same thing here. I can use my knife tool or I can just go in here and let's go right down here to the bottom of this curve. In selecting this shape, hold the shift key down, select this shape, and once again hit that subtract. So there, this gave me the shape of the curved door. I want to widen this a little bit. That will work. Okay, now I'm going to control click because there's another thing. It had panels in it. And I am going to go over here and grab my knife tool, and I have the straight knife tool selected. And remember, I am using the Silhouette Studio Designer Edition, and I'm not sure if your basic edition has all of these. I know it doesn't have all these tools, but they have them on sale at Pumpkin Patch Stamps under SVG Tools on the internet for $32.88 for the Silhouette Studio Designer Edition. Okay, now I'm going to hold down the shift key, and I'm going to slice right across here. And then I'm going to kind of eyeball the middle, slice right down the middle here. And if I want to make sure these are exactly the same, that would be easy to do. Now I'm going to select all of these, and I'm going to bring them up, make them smaller. And then just these two I'm going to make smaller and bring them in. I'm going to slide this door back over here. Now if I want to make sure that both of these, I'm just going to delete this one out, because if I want them to be exactly the same, I just click on this, I go to my replicate tool, and I'm going to select mirror left. And then I can move this out towards the edge. And if I want them aligned perfectly, I hold down the shift key, do this, then we go to our alignment tool, and I'm going to align bottom. So they're pretty well aligned. And I do the same thing. We can do the same thing with these door panels. Bring that in. I can delete this one out and just go back to my duplicate tool, mirror right. Use my arrow keys. I'm going to just arrow it over until it lines up. So there you go. You have the door with the panels, and that was really quick and easy to do. And I guess there's so many things you can do with that. Okay, and then right here, remember you can always edit nodes if there's some changes you want to make. If you want to bring these arches up, this arch up higher, you just click on these little areas. And remember, these little things right here just can be clicked, the handlebars on them just can be clicked. And when you're in edit mode, you can go to corner here, and we can even make corners of this little area here. Dragging these all the way up, I can put a little corner right down in here. And if I want the line to be flat, everything that's in the dark red is what will change. So if I select make flat right now, there we go, that's a flat line. Okay, I hope that these two little video tutorials have helped you learn your studio software even better. And if you have any ideas or suggestions, don't hesitate to email me. I will see you all later. Thanks for watching. Bye now.